Texas League Baseball is next. And a happy Thursday night, everybody. We welcome you to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas. And here's the star of the show, the one, the only, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob. Like your enthusiasm. We welcome you to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas, as it is Game 3 of our 6-game set between the visiting Midland Rockhounds and your Flying Chanclas de San Antonio. Well, got to say, tonight is Taco Bell Value Night here at the ballpark, and got to say, pretty good on that as we get things going. Series continues for weekend baseball Friday through Sunday as we continue our series against Midland, and so far going to be a pretty good one at that. Go online now at samissions.com. Purchase and print your tickets from Valley Live. Also, watch us here YouTube Live Tuesday through Sundays. Here at home or on the road, take us with you on the go with the Valley Live app, and you are good to go. Right now, get out your scorecards. We present tonight's starting lineups first for the visiting Midland Rockhounds. Leading off a shortstop, Arabelle Angeles. Angeles as short. The second baseman, Colby Halter, bats second for Midland. Halter as second. Nate Nankiel, the right fielder, bats third for Midland. Nankiel in right. First baseman Nick Kurtz comes in, batting fourth for the Rockhounds. Kurtz at first. The left fielder Caden Trinkle bats fifth for Midland. Trinkle in left. Designated hitter Nick Schwartz bats sixth for Midland. Schwartz, the DH. Henry Bolt, the center fielder, bats seventh. Bolt in center. Drew Swift, the third baseman, bats eighth for Midland. Swift at third. Round out the batting order for the Rockhounds tonight, Willie McIver. He'll be the catcher tonight for the Rockhounds. McIver catching. And the starting lineup for your San Antonio Missions. Leading off in left field, Albert Fabian. Fabian in left. The catcher, Ethan Salas, bats second for San Antonio. Salas catching. Center fielder, Joshua Mears, bats third for San Antonio. Mears in center. Batting fourth at first base is Marcos Castagnon. Castagnon at first. Jacob Campbell, the right fielder, bats fifth. Campbell in right. Designated hitter Cole Roederer bats sixth in the San Antonio lineup. Roederer, the DH. Batting seventh is the hot corner plate guy, third baseman Yendry Rojas. Rojas at third. Nerwillian Cedeno bats eighth at second base. Cedeno as second. Batting ninth in shortstop, Leo Dallas DeVries rounds out the batting order for the Flying Chanclas here tonight. DeVries at short. Well, that will conclude the lineup cards for both sides here tonight. And so far, let's get on to our pregame show. And I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Bob, as we get going. Good evening, Bob.
Well, good evening, John. How are you doing?
I am doing good. Well, anyway, Bob, what a exciting victory last night for San Antonio. It was a pretty good ball game. Missions were down 2 runs, and they came back to the bottom of the ninth inning. They walked it off, an RBI up to the center field area, brought 2 runs in, and that won the ball game right there. Final score, San Antonio 3-2 against the Rockhounds. And so far, now San Antonio winning their 54th of the year. And probably going to make it a win number 55 if necessary. Well, I got to say, John, 2 games out of this series San Antonio took. And so far, going to be a pretty good one if they could take this one here tonight. Yeah, I got to say, Bob, it's going to be a beautiful night for baseball. Clear skies. Hardly a cloud in the sky as we look at our sunset. And so far, pretty good on that. Well, it's 7:12 as we get underway of our broadcast, and we're shooting for 7:15 to get first pitch going. And we are going to give y'all the first of the scores there in Wichita. Frisco Rough Riders getting 2 runs, Wichita getting an error, and so far, pretty good. So the Rough Riders, 2 runs, 3 hits, and for Wichita, it's 1 costly error. And so far, boy, they are in a deal of hurt right now. And yeah, so on, it's pretty good if Frisco gets another win. And well, so far, they are trailing not far to the second place position. If they can beat Wichita and claim that second place, then they'll still have a lot of work to do in order to catch San Antonio, which the team is in first place right now in the South. Springfield doing pretty good, but trailing in from behind 12.5 games is Arkansas and Wichita. Northwest Arkansas is 14.5 against Springfield. Tulsa down in last place in the North Division, 37/55 for the year. Well, I've got to say, it looks like rain there in Wichita as, look at cloudy skies, lights are on. And so far, do believe we could check their weather and see what they got. But anyway, Bob will be the field of expertise on that, just to see what is going on. And believe it or not, go through the Weather Channel and see what is going on there in Wichita, Kansas. And so far, they might have severe weather. I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but anyway, yeah, they look like they're going to have some thunderstorms just south near Arkansas City. And so far, some pretty bad thunderstorms. Well, that's why it's all cloudy there in Wichita tonight. Game 3 of their 6 games against the Frisco Rough Riders. They're in the North Division. And so far, it'll be a cloudy night with showers. And then stray shower or thunderstorm possible on Friday. So pretty much, in all honesty, it looks like Wichita, Kansas is getting some much needed rain. I mean, that's a what if right there. But anyway, after their series there in Wichita, San Antonio will be at Statesman's Park this next week, taking on the Frisco Rough Riders. And there you go, 6 games yet there in Statesman's Park. And Rough Rider fans, you know who's coming back home is your Frisco Rough Riders will be home to take on the San Antonio Missions right after that. Well, anyway, San Antonio will be back after that week. They'll take on the visiting Springfield Cardinals after that. And so far, pretty good for that next homestand for San Antonio. Then it's off to Tulsa, 6-game set there at DCJ Field. And then going back home, taking on the Sod Poodles for a 6-game set. Then it's back on the road, final 6 times against the Frisco Rough Riders. And then back home one last time for 6 to take on Corpus Christi. And then we'll finish off the regular season there in Springfield. And so far, that will pretty much do when we get all in that. But anyway, we're just about set to go for our upcoming broadcast. And yeah, so far we are 7:17, and it looks like we are delayed some time. I guess they're still working on the field, but evidently our delayed start will put us back a little bit, which I hope that's not going to be too bad, but we'll see what's going on as we get something going. Well, it's a 2-0 lead for Wichita for the top of the first inning, or wherever the heck they are. They haven't updated, but we will definitely see where they are. They're top of the fourth there at the porch, and so far they are pretty much a 2-0 ball game. But evidently pretty good on top of that cherry note. Well, anyway, we're just about set to go here in the top of the first inning for Midland on this beautiful Thursday night. Flying Chanclas and Midland Rockhounds about ready to take the field. And Bob, what a beautiful sky we are seeing. There is no clouds whatsoever as we get ready for this third game.
And now,
well, there is your Flying Chanclas right now as they come in. Get ready to take on Midland for the third straight in this series. Braden Nett is getting the call. A right-hander will pitch for San Antonio here in this one. Four-seam cutter, splitter, slurve, and a sinker. And got to say, going to be a pretty good night thus far.
leading off.
Well, leading off for Midland, the shortstop is Arabelle Angeles. And we are set to go here on this Taco Bell Value Night here in San Antonio. And here's the pitch. 3 magic words. Let's have fun and play baseball. And that one is outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
First pitch, 7 o'clock.
We are 7:19 p.m. on this night. And it's getting going, and that one fouled off. The count now at 1-1. San Antonio winning the last 2 of the 3. Evidently pretty good in this series as missions 1-2, but evidently 3 would be pretty good if they come across and win another as they did last night. Yeah, I gotta say, John, that'd be pretty good if they can. That one's got high in the air, up to right field. Campbell will have it. And there is out number 1.
Batting second, the second baseman, Colby.
Second baseman, Colby Halter coming in. Strying up next for Midland. The windup and the pitch. And that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Give you ball clubs tonight. Frisco at Wichita, Northwest Arkansas at Arkansas, Amarillo at Corpus Christi, Springfield at Tulsa, Midland at San Antonio. And so far, pretty good on that. No balls, 2 strikes to Halter. Yeah, pretty good right there. Here's the 0-2. Right there, just outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look like Wichita going to see some rain and thunderstorms throughout the evening. Hopefully we'll see a little bit of rain on Saturday, and that's going to be a ground ball right to DeVries. The shortstop pass to first baseman Castagnon, and he's got him for out number 2. Nate Nankiel coming in as we're set for him. He is the right fielder tonight for Midland. And the pitch. That one is popped foul, and the count now 0-1. Midland wearing their road orange and grays tonight. San Antonio wearing their Flying Chanclas gear, which every Thursday and Friday night they will wear those. That one high fly in the air. DeVries has it, and he calls off the third baseman, Yendry Rojas, making the play to conclude this top half of one. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Midland. We head to the bottom of the first. San Antonio coming to bat right after this. Now set to go for the bottom of the first for San Antonio right now in the Flying Chanclas Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And we are set to go as a right-hander, Blake Beers, coming in. Four-seam slider, curveball, and a changeup will be in play view of his appearance on the mound. And so far, getting ready to go here for the Rockhounds here this evening. Bottom half of the first inning for the good guys, and leading it off, the left fielder, Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in, ready to go. Hits, oh boy, howdy, that was almost a home run fastball right there. The count now 0-1. No balls, one strike. And the pitch, swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. Can hear somebody say, let's go, Albert. And yes, that is going to be down and in. And that's going to go around for one, maybe even two, and he's got a double. And right there, the leadoff batter gets on second in scoring position on a no-out double. That was a pretty good shot right there up the left center field. Boy, if he didn't get that baseball back, he would have had a triple on that as well. Yeah, I got to say, John. Ooh, ouch, and that got him. Uh-oh, and there it goes. A x-ray will be needed. We got an injury on the field, but the way the arm is hanging, this looks bad. Salas will need to be removed from this game, and could it be shelved for quite some time. Oh, man, and that is not good. Well, we are going to have Romeo Sanabria coming in now, as he'll be a pinch runner. And dang, the catcher is out of this ball game. He got plunked in the right-hand arm.
1 ball, no strikes.
And so far, that is going to be costly for San Antonio as they lose a catcher tonight. But I tell you one thing, that is just not good when you get hit like that. 2 balls, no strikes. But on behalf of San Antonio and our mission staff here this evening, well, we just pray that Ethan Salas will be all right, but now going to be out for quite some time after that injury. Well, they are going to take him to the San Antonio Medical Center, and they'll see what needs to be done. Might get a bruise from that fastball.
That's foul.
And that is foul. The count now 2-2. Just don't like it when you get one of those, right, Bob?
Yeah, I gotta say, John, when you're a prospect, expect the unexpected to happen.
Count is full.
But when you least expect it, you gotta watch those foul balls. And yes, we tell fans to do the same. Watch the foul balls.
Marcos Castañon on deck, a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that is ball 4, and bases are now loaded.
Batting fourth.
Get a base hit with a double, then you get a runner that gets plunked, and now a pinch runner covering the injured Ethan
Oh,
Salas.
that's out.
Right there, the count now. 1 ball and no strikes. Blake Beers in trouble now. Boy, giving up a base hit. Plunking Ethan Salas.
Nope, ball.
And that is down in the count now 2-0.
Boy, he is just not having it tonight, John. And I gotta say, if he's not gonna get anywhere near, they need to pull that pitcher and say to him, "You're just not having it tonight, kid. You're letting so much frustration get under your skin, and yet you can't ill afford to get a strike." The manager should just say, "Hey, you know what, son? Your time is near, and if you can't get anything going, then that's shame on you right there." Right there, the count now, 3 balls, 1 strike. Boy, first strike in a long while. Bases loaded. 1 more ball will put the first run in a walk frenzy. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, that's going to be right there, high fly in the air. And that is out, number 1. Well, bases still remained loaded after the flyouts.
Number 7.
But our thoughts and prayers are to the catcher, Ethan Salas, through this time. If I got hit in the arm like that, I probably would say, ouch. We get some bruising going on.
Yeah, I gotta say, John, I think,
I do see some bruises on you. Where'd you get those? High school.
Ball.
Right there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Great hold up. And the count now 1-1. 1 out, bases loaded. Jacob Campbell, the right fielder, comes in. And he's going to hit that one high in the air. And no time for a tag up. And so far, they are playing it safe.
The designated hitter.
Now 2 away. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Cole Roederer, as he stands in next for San Antonio. Boy, it just stinks that you lose a good catcher like Ethan Salas. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, up to center. And that one is gone! Grand slam by Cole Roederer. Clean the bases like nothing else. And he puts all of them back in the dugout. Man, that is rough around the edges. 418 foot, 102.6 mile per hour in the exit velocity. And now San Antonio struck first. They cleared the bases. And here is Yendry Rojas. Boy, San Antonio looking to win game number 55. If they could try to keep this lead really straight.
yeah, I gotta say, John, if they could keep this lead straight, and I gotta say, haunting the Midland pitcher, Blake Beers, yeah, that is probably payback for injuring their teammate. And so far, getting going on that.
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That one outside, 2-2. Well, Northwest Arkansas and the Travelers scoreless through top of 4 going on right now. And that is outside for a ball. The count now 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck for San Antonio, Norwelli and Cedeno. And the pitch. And that is ball 4. And again, still seeing the same stuff as he saw during this first time. Now San Antonio up a 4-0 lead on a grand slam. So far, Midland has not won a game since the time that they took on Arkansas last week. Boy, that's a pretty good game right there, Franco Park. Final score on a Sunday afternoon. Midland Rockhounds 11, Arkansas Travelers 2. And that is getting away. And the first baseman goes to second on a stolen base and a wild pitch. And boy, Midland is not having it tonight. Yeah, I got to say, John, they are not having it, but evidently that starter, Blake Beers, just letting frustration get under his skin. And so far now, Leo Dallas DeVries coming in. And right there again, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk allowed for this guy.
The shortstop, number 94.
Boy, and good holdup between those last 2 batters for San Antonio. And that's an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. Well, so far it is determined what happens now. If this pitcher can focus, get some strikes, or anything. I mean, that's what the utmost importance of a ball game is. It's getting strikes in the strike zone, especially if you're on that mound and you really got to focus. That is for sure. Line drive, base hit. And again, loads them up. Second time through this first inning, the bags are reloaded. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter once again. Left fielder Albert Fabian comes in. Takes a strike inside. The count now 0-1. Boy, another grand slam would make it 8-0. It would be impossible for Midland to give that up.
No, that missed. That's a
1 ball and 1 strike. Rockhounds bullpen getting active now. Jack Perkins and Colin Perlouse getting in as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one just high, and the count now 2-1. This game's still getting underway, and now San Antonio in favor of this one. Knocking 4 in this one, a grand slam. And that is right there. The count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's going to be lofted high in the air, up to center, and they will finally get out of danger. But Cole Roederer comes in, and Power One's over the wall with a grand slam. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and they leave the bags loaded. Second time the charm. We head to the second inning, and San Antonio leading this one 4-0. Back for the top of the second inning for Midland when we come back in this Texas League broadcast on this Thursday night. Your San Antonio Flying Chanclas 4, Midland Rockhounds 0. Back here for the top of the second inning for Midland right now in the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Nick Kurtz will lead it off top of the second inning for Midland. 4-5-6 due up against Braden Nett. And the pitch is right there and now to play. The count now at 0-1. Boy, disastrous ending to the last inning. Ethan Salas, the catcher, was injured and taken to the emergency room for an x-ray. And evidently we will continue to follow up on his status and see what the doctor's decision may be. It could be bruised or broken, or it could be swollen or sored, whatever. But anyway, thoughts and prayers to Ethan Salas, our catcher tonight. Well, we'll keep you up to date on his condition. But anyway, here is Caden Trinkle. Runner at first and nobody out. That one fouled off. The count now 0-1. So far, a pretty good evening thus far, except one injury has been indicated. And that is going to be right there high in the air up to the right field area. And that is out of play. And the count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Right into the pitcher's mitt. Right into the catcher's mitt, I should say. Here is Nick Schwartz. And that's going to be right there up to right field. A line drive base hit. Boy, San Antonio still holding this lead, but 2 runners for Midland are now on base. That'll bring up Henry Bolt. And the pitch right there in the end for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. 4-0 San Antonio, top of 2. And if you're just joining us today, well, glad you are, because you are now coming in early for this broadcast. 2 away after the fly out the left. Henry Bolt now down and out. Second out of the inning. Here is 8-hole batter Drew Swift. Swift coming in, ready to go. And the pitch. Outside cutter, and the count now 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, no strikes to pitch, and that is out of play. And the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that is out of play. The count now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to pitch. Out of play. Still hanging on. One and 2. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, a base hit. And here it comes to the plate. Is in to score. And Midland now on the board. It's now a 3-run trail for the Rockhounds. But San Antonio still leading it by a 3-run margin. It's 4-1. Willie McIver coming in as he's the tying run for Midland. And so far, if 3 runs come in to score, that would evaporate a 4-0 lead for San Antonio. Down and outside for a count now, 0-2. Braden Nett trying to work his way out of this half inning. and prevent any more runs from coming in and score. That one high fly in the air up to right in foul territory, and that will land untouched. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch right there, swing and a miss, got him. And that ends the inning, but Drew Swift gets a run on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 left on. 2.5 ready to go. San Antonio leading by 3. It's 4-1. We're back here as Romeo Sanabria, the catcher, comes in. And we'll be right back after this one when we come in for the bottom of inning number 2. top of the bottom half of the second inning, and here is Romario Sanabria. Thank you, Bob, and I'll take it from here. And we're set to go as the first pitch is in for a cold strike. And the count now at 0-1. Welcome back to Texas League Baseball here in South Texas. Right there, ground ball. Straight away to second, right to first. And that is out number 1.
Number 14, Joshua.
Joshua Mears coming in now. 3-hole batter, walk in the first inning. Beautiful night. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Might see a few high clouds in this evening. But evidently a great night for baseball. And the pitch. Swing and a miss right there. The count now 0-2. Boy, if he would have held off on that one, it would have been 1 ball, 1 strike. But evidently,
1-2.
it would have been something else like that. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, that one right there, high fly in the air, deep to right field. The right fielder getting after it, and he'll make the play for out number 2.
Now batting.
And there is 2 down. That'll bring up Marcos Castañon as he leads it off. Weekend baseball begins tomorrow night. Flying Chanclas taking on the Midland Rockhounds. Series continues through Sunday, and Monday be road travel day up to Frisco. And that is outside. The count now 2 balls and no strikes. So after that, we'll be home in a week to take on Springfield. So Springfield Cardinals will be in town. So that's pretty nice. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here is the pitch. That one right there. Line drive straight away up to right field with base hits.
Now batting, number 7.
And here is right fielder Jacob Campbell as he takes a strike inside. The count now at 0-1. So far, our Valley Live is not broadcasting this ball game tonight, but evidently if you switch it to MILBTV.com, we are live here. And right there, up to first, and that's the inning retired. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on for San Antonio. And we head to the top of the 3rd. San Antonio has this game 4-1. Going back here is shortstop Arabelle Angeles, Halter, and Nankill will lead it off for the 3rd for Midland when we come back. Top of the third inning for Midland set to go right now on the Mission Spaceball Network. That'll bring up the next batter up, shortstop Arabelle Angeles, as he'll lead it off for Midland. And the pitch is inside for a cold strike, and it's the count now 0-1. So far, a pretty good night. San Antonio up 4-1 in this ball game, and joining us live here on MILB TV/YouTube Live. And the pitch. And the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that is right there, called third strike. Got him down for out number 1.
The second baseman, Colby Halter.
Colby Halter, the second baseman, coming in. It's ready to go. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And that's a ground ball straight away short to DeVries to first base Castagnon. And that is out number 2.
Number 19, Nate Nankiel.
Nate Nankiel coming in. Set to go 0 for 1, a pop out. And here's the pitch. That is right there, and in the count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch.
That's a ball.
Down and outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Strike 2.
And that's in for a code strike 2. 1 more in this one, and it will be it for this top half of the third. That one hit high in the air up to center. Mears, he has it, and that's the inning. No runs hit or errors, nobody left on for Midland, as we now hit 3.5. San Antonio leading this game 4-1. And we're back here as we head to the bottom of the third. Cole Roederer, the designated hitter, comes in for San Antonio right after this. About set to go for the bottom of the third right now. The Missions Baseball Network. Gold Roderer stands in now. 6, 7, 8 due up against Blake Beers. And now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Wind up and the pitch. And that's going to be a liner straightaway center. That's a base hit. Boy, pretty good thing that they get that one going. That'll bring up Yendry Rojas. Boy, that is the 5th hit for Beers tonight. Not looking good, but if he keeps giving up so many hits, then the management of the Rockhounds will have to pull him from the game. Yendry Rojas, the 7-hole hitter, comes up now as being the 3rd baseman. Runner at first, nobody out. Nope. And that is outside. The count now 1-1.
1-1.
San Antonio, a 4-run grand slam. Which that was pretty interesting when we all looked at it. But evidently, Ethan Salas getting hurt in this broadcast.
The second baseman, Williams.
Evidently, probably made it to the hospital right now, and so far watching the rest of this ball game in the hospital. Well, that's a line drive, a base hit. And there's 2-1. Wow, they're getting something going here tonight for the Chonkless here, and so far going pretty good in this ball game here this evening. Yeah, it sure is. Well, here is the 9-hole batter, shortstop Leo Dallas DeVries. He's 1 for 1 single. Boy, try to put some more on there, and evidently San Antonio could get pretty good right there, and that's going to get through for the base hit. It looks, yes, he's going to beat it, and that will, 3rd time around, load up bases. And boy, that's going to be fielded as a fielder's choice. And here comes the manager, and so far that is going to do it. And enough has already been said that Beers would be out of this ball game. And 3rd time's a charm as he got bases loaded up again. Now Jack Perkins has to deal with the mistakes of the starter. 4-seam, circle change, slurve cutter, and a sinker. Perkins now pitching for Midland in this broadcast, and now he greets up the left fielder for San Antonio, Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in, circle change outside is 1 ball and no strikes. 1 for 2 with double the last time up that he came in this broadcast. And so far pretty good. Here's a 1-0. And that is going to be crushed. That one is high, and that's going to get down. And that'll put 2 more runs in to score for San Antonio. A 2-run double for Fabian, and that means double meat cheeseburger coupons, courtesy of our friends there at Whataburger. Here is Romeo Sanabria as he comes in. He's tonight's new catcher for San Antonio, filling in the injured catcher. 2nd and 3rd with 1 away. Sanabria at the plate for the Missions. And that's going to be lofted. That is high in the air. And it is gone. And San Antonio on Romeo Sanabria strikes for 3 more. And it's now a 9-1 ball game. By golly, pretty cool on that. As San Antonio now pushes away. And this ball game getting pretty interesting. 416 foot, 99.9% exit velocity. 5 runs here in this half inning alone have scored in. And still getting underway of our broadcast. And yeah, long night ahead of us as we've seen a lot of hard hit balls being out of this ball game. A lot of it has to do with San Antonio doing those hard hitting balls. Yeah, I got to say, John, absolutely right. You know, this broadcast could go on for maybe even 2 to 3 hours, but we will have to wait and see where all hits prevail in this one. Yep, that is for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Center fielder Joshua Mears coming in. San Antonio 9, Midland 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that is just outside. The count now 2-2. Sun beginning to set on this Thursday night, and that is a swing and a miss right there, out number 2 for Joshua Mears. Marcos Castellanos 1 for 2 with single. San Antonio 9, Midland 1 here in this broadcast. And he chased after the 4-seam fastball, and the count now 0-1. Weekend baseball. Tomorrow night, 7:05, Flying Chanclas and Rockhounds. Continuing through Sunday, and that'll pretty much conclude our 9-game homestand. We had a leadoff 3 with Amarillo last week, and now 6 this week against Midland. San Antonio winning the first 2 of the 6 games. And that is strike 3. Well, Romeo Sanabria gets 3 more runs added to the Mission's run roster. And so far, we are on to the 4th inning. It's now a San Antonio lead of 9-1. Well, we're back here after this, and we'll be ready to go here in this one. Well, we're about set to go for the top of the fourth right now on the Rockhound Missions Baseball Network. Yeah, you were about to say Rockhounds Baseball Network, but anyway, I guess either way will do pretty good. Nick Herbst coming in, 4, 5, and 6 against Braden Net. As we start the fourth inning for Midland. Rockhounds trailing 8 runs against San Antonio, and that's going to be right there. High fly in the air up to left field. And Joshua Mears gets that one. And that is out number 1.
The left fielder, number 10, Caden.
Well, that'll bring up the next batter up, Caden Trinkle, as he will get going here in this one. Batting in the left hand as he's the left fielder for Midland here this evening. No balls, 1 strike. He had the pitch. That one is lofted high in the air and foul. And the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That one out of play, and the count now 0-2. Still hanging on for Trinkle. The windup and the pitch. Fouled off and still see another. One more time. And still putting it foul. Man, Trinkle is just battling it out here this evening. Confusing the pitcher, Braden Net. And right there, he got him. Swing and a miss. And there is a strikeout for San Antonio's pitcher, Braden Net.
Nick Schwartz.
Designated hitter, Nick Schwartz, 1 for 1. That's the single he had last time up. And that's an inside strike. The count now 0-1. 2 out, nobody on. San Antonio 9, Midland 1 here in this broadcast. And the pitch is inside for a strike. The count now at 0-2. No balls. 2 strikes. The pitch. Called 3rd strike. Got him. And we are now headed to the bottom of 4 as San Antonio holds a 9-1 lead in this one. Right fielder Campbell, Roederer, and Rojas will lead it off for the bottom of 4 when we come back. Now set to go for the bottom of the fourth right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in, 5'6", due up against the new reliever Jack Perkins. Beautiful Thursday night. Welcome in all to our broadcast. That one in the count now 1-1. The pitch, and right there now to play. The count now 1-2. Starting to see a beautiful sunset. Evidently sun and clouds. Just a lot of high clouds. Evidently through almost the end of a week for us. And that's going to be an out of play. And the count now at 2-2. Don't forget a new series premiering Friday, September 26th. That is Picani's new series. And that's going to be liner straightaway center, a base hit. Wow, pretty good on that one there, John. And they really get something going. Now, that is for sure. Designated hitter, Cole Roederer. Stands in, and that one is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Still a long way to go here in this ball game, even though San Antonio has scored 5 runs, bottom of third. So far, that is now 9-1. Grand Slammer. There is a prospect in the San Antonio Missions that hit that big, giant grand slam. And that was the first one for San Antonio to ever come in. And that one's going to be right there to second for 1. And they don't get them, not in time, and they won't overturn a double play. Runner is forcibly out at second. Runner at first is safe. That'll bring up third baseman Yendry Rojas. Rojas coming in, ready to go. And the pitch. And that's the count now at 0-1. There's the pitch. Down and outside, 1-1. Don't forget Christmas and July, as we have Saturday night. Post-game fireworks has been announced. And so far, Christmas in July, pretty much might dress up as a flying chanclas. We'll see. We'll probably go to our Missions uniforms tomorrow night, and then we'll go for our flying chanclas just to show our festive colors. 1-2. Right there now to play. The count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kind of feels like a Christmas season, but even though we are middle half of July already, and that's the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's going to be lined high in the air, and both outfielders give a chase. And that's going to be in for the base hit. 2-1 now. And so far, San Antonio has now another threatening move against Midland. Norwillian Cedeno coming in now, as he hits a circle change out of play. The count now at 0-1. We're still coming in and trying to defend what's left of this ball game. But even though we are already to the bottom of 4, still early in this ball game. And that's going to be a liner, and that's going to get through. 1 run scores in. And San Antonio now a dozen. Could be 12. And they're pounding Midland like a punching bag like no tomorrow. Yeah, I got to say, John, it's getting pretty bad for Midland right now. They are now 9 runs trailing the ball game, and they really need to come back in this one and start getting something going. Yeah, I agree. If Midland loses this one tonight, boy, they are going to be in a world of hurt, as they already know. Frisco could easily claim the second place position. That means if Midland loses to San Antonio, Frisco wins second place if they beat Wichita. That is right there, and that's going to get in, and the score is now a 10-run lead for San Antonio. So that will be a ground ball on sacrifice, and so far it's now San Antonio 11-1. Well, again, the manager pops out of the dugout, and here he comes to the mound to get the reliever out of this ball game. The Rockhounds not doing too good tonight, as now they've had a starter that failed this game and now a reliever that started to fail as well. So now they'll turn it up to a right-hander, Colin Palouse. 4-seam slider changeup and a 2-seam fastball coming in this broadcast. And so far that'll bring up Albert Fabian. San Antonio 11, Midland 1. They trail 10. That one high fly in the air. And that right there is the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 left. And we head to the 5th inning. San Antonio leading this one 11-1. I'll be right back as Bolt, Swift, and McIver will start the 5th inning for Midland when we come back. All right, we lead off the top of the 5th inning for Midland right now on the Rupp Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And we head to the 5th inning. Midland trailing 10 runs out of this ball game. San Antonio now up 11-1 in this broadcast, and man, it is just a whooping of a lifetime when you see double digits on one team, giving the other team that whooping like nothing else. No balls and 2 strikes, and that is just because that on Midland pitching, it was not that good this evening. That one's got high in the air, and that's going to hit the base of the wall, and that will get in for a double. And Henry Bolt's got something going.
Third baseman, number 16, Drew Swift.
Drew Swift coming up now. He's the 8-hole batter. 8-9-1 due up against Braden Nett. And that one is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-for-1 RBI single in the second. Coming in now for Midland. And the pitch. That one high pop up right there. Sanabria has it. And that is out number 1.
Now batting.
Man, don't you hate it when you have to go through a RBI possibility, yet you pop one behind the plate and the catcher has that one all to himself. Says, yeah, I got that one. He sure does. No balls and 1 strike. Yep, thank you, Bob. Billy McIver coming in. Runner at second. 1 away here in this ball game. San Antonio 11, Midland 1. Broadcast on this Thursday evening. Well, you got to look at some other scores. And that one's going to be lofted high in the air and out of play, foul. And the count now at 0-2. Well, anyway, the Frisco Rough Riders leading Wichita now 4-3. As they are the... Well, right there, that is a ball pitch clock violation. And yes, they are the first ones in the... That one fouled away, still hanging on, 1-2. I'll tell you one thing, this broadcast will be long, as all of us know it. And swing and a miss. Got him. Right there for out number 2.
Batter, number 9, shortstop, Ayuribio Angela.
Well, 4-3 Frisco there in Wichita. We have Northwest Arkansas leading 1-0 as they're bottom of the 7th inning. Arkansas winning last night 1-0 against the Naturals. And that is down and inside for a code strike. It's 0-1. Well, evidently Corpus Christi 9-0 against the Amarillo Sod Poodles there at Bayfront Park. That's going to be right there, line drive, and that's going to get through for a base hit. And he comes in to score, and they get one back.
Now batting, second baseman, Colby.
So pretty good right there as they come in, and they get something going. Well, Springfield, as you all know, leading the Tulsa Drillers by a score of 1-0. Top half of the 7th inning for the Cardinals. And that is right there. The count now at 0-1 to Colby Halter, who had 2 groundouts and is 0 for 2. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 on. 11-2 for San Antonio. Trailing 9 runs of this ball game, they could prevent into coming into a rally back. And that is what San Antonio's objective is. Midland is trying to get everything going. That is right there. Line drive to center, and that is out number 3. But they get a run in to score on a few base hits, no errors, and they leave one left on. We're 5.5 tonight. San Antonio leads it 11-2. And we'll be right back as Romeo Sanabria, the catcher, will lead it off for the bottom of the 5th inning. And that is Sanabria, Mears, and Castagnon will lead it off for the bottom of 5 straight ahead. It's our score, San Antonio 11, Midland 2. This proud broadcast is brought to you in part by our friends there at West Creek Trail Rides. For all of your West Creek trail ride needs, visit our website at www.westcreektrailrides.com and book your online reservation for an hour horseback ride. And our rides are guided by our front guides, our back guides, and so far, even a middle guide if we need to, if more riders are up to 18 rides. 18 riders, I should say. But anyway, visit West Creek Trail Rides and our website to book your reservation. And so far, we'll be happy to give you the time of your life there at West Creek. Well, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning, the catcher, Romeo Sanabria, as he leads it off, bottom of the 5th inning for San Antonio. That one's going to be lofted high in the air and up to right field, and that is a strike on a foul ball. Sanabria coming in to the injured teammate, and that is the teammate of Ethan Salas. That one is outside. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Salas is watching the ball game from a hospital, awaiting the doctor to come in, I do imagine. He's shot us a text saying, hey, I'm in the emergency room watching the baseball game, and let's go to my team. That one right there high in the air up to the center field area. And still going, hit the wall, and he's got it.
The center fielder, number 14.
Boy, right there as he gets that one.
Mears.
Center fielder Joshua Mears 0 for 2, a walk and a run. Boy, and tell you one thing that Midland pitching has been impeccable in this broadcast, and I will say that the starter to the first reliever did not have a good night thus far on strikes. And so far that starter hurt Ethan Salas by plunking him and hitting him right in the arm, which that really hurt. But evidently, Ethan Salas is out of this ball game, and so far he could spend the next month and a half or anything. If broken, then evidently they're going to see what happens next to him, and it might be a pretty much time for him to go on vacation for a while. Marcos Castañon is 1 for 3. Could have a broken arm, but that is not out of the question thus far. But we are awaiting updates from the San Antonio Medical Center. And so far, pretty much that will do. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on for San Antonio. 6th inning coming up. The Mission's up front by 11-2. Right fielder Nate Nankiel will lead it off, with Kurtz and Trinkle to follow in from behind, right on this broadcast for the top of inning number 6. Top of the 6th inning for Midland right now on the Rockhounds Baseball Network. Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Midland is right fielder Nate Nankiel, batting .345 against Braden Nett. Nett coming up in the windup and the stretch and the pitch. That is in for a strike.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And the count now at 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cutter got him down looking. And that's out number 1.
The batter, the first baseman, Nick Kurtz.
Well, the first baseman is Nick Kurtz. And the pitch is right there and outside, and the count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Right there. Cedeno getting it in front of Castañon. And that will pretty much do. Out number 2. Oh, excuse me for a little hiccups here, but I had a little drink and stuff. Dr. Pepper. Now, so far, if we have Christmas in July, it is always a good thing that we come to you live. And yeah, we will have Flying Chanclas for a Saturday night broadcast.
1 ball, 1 strike.
So we're going to switch things up. Tomorrow evening, we'll be in our Missions gear. Don't forget, we are Flying Chanclas Saturday. So Flying Chanclas Saturday, we are going to have this just one time and one time only to celebrate Christmas and July. We'll also do it again, versing off the Springfield Cardinals 2 weeks from now. And that's going to be right there, line drive. That's a base hit. So Midland continuing to get things going here. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Nick Schwartz. Schwartz coming in, ready to go. Hits that one out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. Well, anyway, it looks like that's 75 pitches. And so far, that will pretty much do for the starter, Braden Nett. That could be in for the W tonight, but evidently they still have to keep this deficit right where it is. Evidently not giving up runs or hits or anything else like that. Logan Gillespie coming in now, 11-1 innings pitched, an ERA of 7.15. Strikeout at 14 1/3, .320 over a 3.18, which that's pretty good. Logan Gillespie now pitching for San Antonio, now comes against Nick Schwartz. And hits that one out of play, foul. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And that one is out of play. Boys still hanging on. So just a beautiful hot day today. Temperature was 98 degrees. Near a triple-digit day. Now, evidently, everybody knows to stay inside and to keep cool. But when we have night games like this, you don't have to worry that much. It, even though may be hot or warm or mild or whatever, but still got to keep a clear head to stay hydrated while you're here at the ball game. But evidently, we don't have any more day games for a Sunday, which that's pretty good. Especially our last day of the season in Springfield. We're 1 o'clock on that day. And then wrapping up a great 2025 regular season. Here's the 0-2. Out of play and still hanging on at 0-2. Now, we do have our 4 finalists tonight if, well, Midland is in a playoff spot. Springfield is in a playoff spot. And evidently San Antonio and Arkansas both are in playoff spots. So evidently 4 teams that I've just mentioned are in a playoff spot. And that depends if San Antonio may lose to the rest for the Rockhounds or in Frisco, but evidently see how everything plays out in the end. Here's the 0-2. Right there, high in the air, up to right field. And Campbell will have that, and that will do it. But we'll discuss more about that. And so far, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Campbell, Roederer, and Rojas will lead it off for the bottom of 6 when we come back. It's San Antonio 11, Midland 2. About set to go for the bottom of the sixth inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jacob Campbell. We are 11-2 here tonight for San Antonio, and
1-0.
pretty much first pitch has been thrown. Ben Bowden and Tanner Dotson warming up, a lefty and a righty. The Rockhounds bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes to the right fielder Campbell, and that's in for a strike. The count now 1-1. So far, a pretty good night thus far as we bring you this one. Stadium lights now full effect here. That one's got high in the air up to left field. The guy on the warning track in left will make the play, and there is out number 1.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Designated hitter Cole Roederer was the guy that hit the 4 home runs. And evidently he was the grand slammer of those 4 runs for the bottom half of the first inning. And the pitch, that is in for a strike. Evidently that would not perhaps be arguable. And that's going to be right there. Line drive up the center, and that's a base hit. So pretty good.
The third baseman, Yendry Rojas.
That'll bring up Yendry Rojas. Rojas coming in, ready to go. That one high fly in the air up to the center field area, and that's out number 2. Well, when you need cash or for emergencies, visit Empower as they choose to give you some help when you desperately need it. Visit Empower on the app from the App Store and Google Play. Nerwillian Cedeno coming in now. Runner at first, 2 away, bottom of the 6th inning. That one is high outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Don't forget our proud sponsors, West Creek Trail Rides, Whataburger, and many others that have joined into this broadcast. And that one is high fly in the air up to the first baseman, and that will pretty much do it. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left on for San Antonio. We head to the 7th inning, and it's San Antonio 11-2. So back here for the 7th inning as Henry, Bolt, Swift, and MacGyver get ready to go for inning number 7. Top of the 7th inning for Midland right now. The Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up Henry Bolt, 789, due up against Logan Gillespie. As we head now to the 7th inning for Midland. And the windup and the pitch is in for a cold strike, and the count now at 0-1. San Antonio 11, Midland 2. The Rockhounds trailing a 9-run ball game against the Missions. And so far, pretty good on that. That one high fly in the air up to the left field. Center field, Joshua Mears gets after it and makes a fine running catch to get the out in his name recorded for out number 1. Drew Swift coming in as he was a 1-for-2, an RBI in the 2nd inning. Is ready to go in the windup. Now one high fly in the air, right to Campbell, and 2 up, 2 down. Boy, now Midland down to their final, should I say, 7 outs of this ball game. Evidently outs are going as now Midland in a big rush to save time, I guess. Well, here's the windup and the pitch. That one's going to be high fly in the air. Center fielder Mears can't get there, and that's going to land in front of him for a base hit.
The batter, the shortstop, Uribe.
Well, that'll bring up the shortstop here, Urabel Angeles, as he comes in. That one is skied high in the air up to right field. Moving under it is the right fielder Campbell, and he'll make the play for out number 3. Well, get up and stretch. It's Take Me Out to the Ball Game. On a beautiful Thursday evening overlooking San Antonio, we give you your score. San Antonio 11, Rockhounds 2. So that'll bring in DeVries, Fabian, and Snabria. We'll lead it off in the bottom half of 7 when we come back in this broadcast. Well, hope you've had a pretty good seventh inning stretch, but now we head to the bottom of 7 for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Leo Dallas DeVries coming in as we lead off the bottom of 7 for the Flying Chanclas. And the pitch, that is right there, and that's a fair ball right there to left. And hustling for 2 in the second on a leadoff double. DeVries getting in there, and that's why Whataburger is served hot and fresh 24/7 for all fans of San Antonio. So far, we celebrate 75 great years of Whataburger. First one built in Corpus Christi in 1950, and that is Bayfront Park there in Corpus Christi as their ballpark. Can't even talk tonight, but anyway, their ballpark in Corpus Christi is pretty much 3 owned Whataburgers built inside of that stadium, which that is pretty good. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's going to be lofted. That is deep in the air. And that's going to hit the base of the wall. That'll score in Leo Dallas DeVries. He'll be the 12th run in for San Antonio. And now the Missions up by a 10-run lead. Boy, and Midland just in trouble now. Here is Romeo Sanabria. And he's going to power that one high in the air up to right field. Moving under it is the right fielder. And here comes the runner. Tagging up from second to third. Safely to third. From the stolen base. Joshua Mears coming in. 0 for 3. A walk and a run last time up. So far, pretty good lead for San Antonio. 12-2 our score. Bottom of 7. And that's going to be a run in to score, an RBI. And now the new score is San Antonio 13, Midland 2. Boy, that was an RBI single by Joshua Mears. And he is now at first base. Right there, now to play foul. The count now 0-1. Marcos Castañon, who's 1 for 4, and a single. A pretty good night for San Antonio. Boy, they lead 11 now in this ball game. And that is out of play foul. The count now at 0-2. Evidently seeing a beautiful Tower of Americas there in downtown San Antonio, looking at our broadcast, and that's going to be right there. Stolen base, a strikeout, and Castañon is down on strikes, but a wild pitch will get a runner into second base. And now the 14th run for San Antonio, now in scoring position there as second. Right fielder Jacob Campbell coming in now. And the pitch, that is right there now to play foul. And the count now at 0-1. Top of the 8th inning with the Rockhounds up to bat after this half inning is done. And so far we are going to be ready to call this a big night for San Antonio if they win here this evening. But I would say that they might have already took the ball game by 11 runs ahead of Midland. Boy, and they are coming in 13 runs on 16 hits. No errors, 6 left on. And for Midland, 2-7-0-5, which that right there is just ugly as the day they came in this ball game. And that is right there. Ground hopper, straightaway short, right to first, and that ends the inning. 7 innings come and go. And so far, that will do. 8th inning coming up. San Antonio leading it 13-2. We're up to the top of the 8th inning as Colby Halter, Nankiel, and Kurtz will come in to lead it off for the 8th inning. We're back after these commercial messages here in this one.
Top of the 8th inning, set to go for the Rockhounds here in San Antonio Baseball Network. Well, Colby Halter coming in now as the second batter up. 2, 3, and 4 due up against Logan Gillespie. The pitch is in for a taking, cold strike, and it's 0-1. Midland down to their final 6 outs tonight. San Antonio only having 3. That one's going to be lofted high in the air, deep to right field, and they will get one back. So right there, as it'll be a 13-3 ball game. And boy, pretty good, as now it's a 10-run lead. San Antonio holding 10, and that will be enough to propel them to a W. Boy, and tell you one thing that I do believe Amarillo. I will say that last game last Sunday was pretty much a series loss during that Sunday against the Sod Poodles.
1-0.
3-game winning streak for San Antonio possible tonight if they could get this one, but believe it or not, I've said it maybe once or twice, but this might be my second time saying it, that San Antonio might have won this one. But too early to call. Just having to wait for the top of the 9th inning to figure that out. Midland might come back and say, hey, let's do a comeback and try to get something going. That's going to be right there. Line drive, that's a base hit. Boy, and they're coming in just firing everything they have. And even though they are down to their final 6 outs, so anything possible can happen. Nick Kurtz coming in as he swings and misses. Circle change down and in for a cold strike. And it's 0-1. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and give what looks to be a final score there
Wichita claims the win. And boy, the 8th inning, they score in 3, and they beat the Frisco Rough Riders. So right there, and that's a second for 1, but they do not overturn 2. Throw down to first, and they'll put a 4th runner in scoring position. Well, now we'll go ahead and get the final scores. Frisco did not win one tonight, so they'll be 45. Boy, and Wichita now getting pretty good. They now pull ahead of second place.
Nope, ball.
So that will be a ball. The count now at 1 ball and no strikes. 2,188 in tonight's broadcast. So the Wind Surge winning against Frisco. Final score 6-5 against the Frisco Rough Riders. So anyway, we will take a look at the Springfield Cardinals. They're still tied ball game. That is going to be foul. And the count now at 1-1. Well, we'll see what the Sod Poodles did. Corpus Christi blew the doors off Amarillo, and now they are 35. Putting Amarillo 43. And, ouch, 43 and 49 of the year for the Sod Poodles. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Right there, out of play, and still holding on. Well, we will look at Springfield and Tulsa. Yes, they are 1-1 tie. Northwest Arkansas and Arkansas. Well, evidently Northwest Arkansas getting the victory tonight against the Arkansas Travelers. So, boy, that will eliminate them from getting into second place. Well, only now. That one is high fly in the air, and is that going to stay fair? Right on the foul pole. And that's a home run by Caden Trinkle. And boy, they are coming back little by little. And do you think Midland might come back in this one, Tom? Well, John, I got to say, if it's possible, it's possible. But we'll see and wait. Find out what happens. They've got 5 outs to work with, so they don't want to ever give that up. Here is Nick Schwartz as he comes in and takes a strike inside. And the count now at 0-1. San Antonio 13-5 here in this one. And so far, that's going to do for the starter, Logan Gillespie, as pitch reliever. So he was the first one to come in this ball game, and yet everybody knows that he is starting to fail the course of trying to protect a big marginable lead. Omar Cruz, the left-hander, comes in as he'll get the ball from the manager. So 4-seam, a curveball, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball. So far, final 4 ball clubs tonight are playing. Springfield and Tulsa are still tied in a ball game. And evidently going to the bottom of the 9th inning where Tulsa might have a good chance of winning another one. And if they win, they'll put up to 38, but still in last place. So far, Corpus Christi and Tulsa are the 2 teams in the Texas League that have really struggled through the first half and now into the second half as well. Well, that is a backwards K on a strikeout for Omar Cruz.
The batter, the center fielder, Henry.
Cruz now pitching for San Antonio here in this ball game, and as the second reliever of tonight. Henry Bolt's coming in, down to their final 4 outs. As that's a pitch inside, the count now at 0-1. In the windup. And that one blistered deep. That is left field gone. And that is out of here. Now it's 13-6. Boy, and the Rockhounds are coming back in this one. But still, little ways to go. Boy, that was a pretty good base hit right there. And it got Midland another run on the board, so that is pretty good. Evidently, with 4 runs, 4 outs to work with, that's the only thing. But that will go up to right field, and that is a out, and that will pretty much do it. Well, I gotta say, in all honesty, 3 more runs into scored on 5 base hits, no errors, and they leave 1 on. 8th inning for San Antonio coming up. It's 13-6. As we head to the last of the 8th inning, as Cole Roederer, Rojas, and Cedeno will lead it off for San Antonio when we come back. Set to go for the bottom half of the 8th inning for San Antonio, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, it is Cole Roederer as he'll lead it off for San Antonio. Heads that one high in the air, and boy, he's going to get down a base hit. And he's going for 2. Is he going to get there? No, he is out, making a big mistake there.
The third baseman,
Man, he could have just stayed with the 1, but he got overzealous right there. Yep, and he sure did. The fly tag down right to the bag. And there is 1 down. That one is a high pop-up straightaway in the foul grounds. And they're 2 down.
Now batting, second baseman, Williams.
Well, that'll bring up the last batter up of the night for San Antonio. Here is Williams Cedeno. 2 for 3, double single, an RBI, and a run for the second baseman. So far, a pretty good night thus far for San Antonio, but Midland trailing behind by at least 7 more runs.
0-2.
And they could still do more damage. They need 14 to win it. And that is down and outside. That's count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, don't forget, we're going to switch things up a little bit, as tomorrow will not be Flying Chonkless Day. Instead, we will have that hopefully for a Saturday evening, as we celebrate Christmas in July, wearing the favorite fall colors, our beautiful blue and orange. And so far right there, that will do it for the inning is over. So that was a ground ball that was hit to first, and that will pretty much do. So no runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left on for San Antonio. We head to the 9th inning, and this is the last 3 outs. MacGyver, Angeles, and Halter are the last 3 men left of this broadcast. And we will be right back with Texas League Baseball. Our score, San Antonio 13, Midland 6. Top of the 9th inning for Midland right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Willie MacGyver coming in as he's set to go. 13-6, a 7-run lead for San Antonio. Comes in and he'll take a changeup inside the zone. And the count now at 0-1. Midland better have some hope tomorrow night, as evidently there are 3 games left in San Antonio through the weekend. And then it's on their way home as they take on the Tulsa Drillers in that 6-game set next week there in Franco Park. San Antonio heads to Frisco to start a 6-game set there at Statesman's Park. And right there, strike three. MacGyver down on strikes.
Now batting, shortstop, Uribe.
Shortstop is Arabelle Angeles, 1-for-4 single RBI tonight. As he comes in and gets something going. Last of the ninth inning, and that's a swing and a miss down to their final 2 outs for Midland. And here is the 0-1, and that's down and outside. The count now at 1-1. San Antonio in a 2-game winning streak. Midland trying to get in and do some damage. Here's the 1-1. That one right there, line drive. Cedeno gets a Castañon, and that is out number 2. Down against it. As the San Antonio Missions 1 out away from claiming a 3rd win for the San Antonio Missions. And right there, Colby Halter coming in, takes a strike inside. The count now at 0-1. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow night, $2 Dr. Pepper night. We'll be back in our normal home jerseys tomorrow. This is a high fly, and that will do it. And the ball game concludes a 13-6 victory for San Antonio. Well, what a night it's been, and so far this Thursday has been really good. Midland put up quite a show as they got 6 runs, and pretty much, boy, it was a real whooping for them coming into this one. Well, that will be 55 over against Midland, who is now at 47 even. And they will still hold second place in the South Division. And we are going to go ahead and see what's going on there in Springfield. Or should I say Tulsa? The Tulsa Drillers there in Springfield, Missouri. So far they are pretty much still they're doing their ball game. Evidently with the game still not coming to an end, but we will definitely keep an eye out. Well, Springfield and Tulsa are the last 2 teams that are playing tonight. And so far going to be a pretty good one in this one. I guess we'll go to the MILB TV app, and so far we are going to see what is going on there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, they got the bases loaded up, it looks, for the Tulsa Drillers. 2 outs, 2-1 in the count. And getting that one in for the strike, and they're down against it. Boy, a base hit would put the winning run across the score for Tulsa. And that'll put them up to win number 38 against the Springfield Cardinals. Boy, tell you one thing, that Springfield has done really great this year. They're 59-33. Tulsa at 37-55. And that is called 3rd strike, and they will go extra innings more. And that will be the side retired. Well, for San Antonio, our available homestands is the last 3 against Midland, 6 against Springfield, 6 against Amarillo, and 6 against Corpus Christi right after that. I gotta say, it will no doubt be close to an end of a season, which I'm celebrating my 5 years after a end of a year which was pretty good. But anyway, pretty good on that. Yep, San Antonio heads to Tulsa on August 12th. That is pretty much good right there. Well, we have extra innings going on there in Springfield. Or, why do I say Springfield? I know they're in Tulsa tonight. But anyway, runner will start as second in the top of the 10th inning. Boy, lucky dogs there. Springfield starts their homestand against the Arkansas Travelers starting the 29th, which that is pretty good. Well, top of the 10th inning set to go, and Springfield has a go-ahead run as second. Boy, and that was a blowout there in Corpus Christi. 11-0 final score. Man, and tell you one thing, Corpus Christi takes on Tulsa starting August 5th. And San Antonio takes on Springfield on that day. Hey, Corpus Christi, do y'all want to trade the teams and stuff? I bet they're saying no to that, but evidently two North Division teams are back next door to each other. You got Tulsa at Corpus Christi and Springfield at San Antonio, which that is pretty good starting on the 5th. You know, and speaking about that, we're going to see all about that. Tuesday the 5th. So it looks like 6 games on, well, should I say 12 games on the road for the Tulsa Drillers coming up. They'll have 6 in Midland and 6 in Corpus Christi. So that is 2 weeks on the road for Tulsa. And then Drillers should be back home, taking on San Antonio on August 12th. Which, that right there, pretty good. Yeah, so it will be Tulsa taking on San Antonio on the 12th when they come back from Corpus Christi. So that is 3 South Division teams, Midland, Corpus Christi, and San Antonio, that they would have to take on. But anyway, pretty good on that. Well, final score, let's go over your runs, hits, and errors. First for the victorious San Antonio Missions, 13 runs, 17 hits, and no errors. For Midland, 6-11-0. Blake Beers definitely gets the loss after the big bad night that he had, loading up the bases twice, giving up 7 hits and 7 runs. and definitely getting the loss on that cherry note. Player of the game, Albert Fabian, 3 for 5, 3 doubles and 3 RBIs, with the winner being Braden Nitt, the starting pitcher, getting in for this one for San Antonio. Well, anyway, we are going to go do some planning, and so far tomorrow evening, no flying chanclas tomorrow night, but we will be back for flying chanclas for Saturday night baseball as we get Christmas night underway for our ball clubs. Got to say, we will have this one against Midland and our next homestand against Springfield. Springfield Cardinals will have a home, well, we should have a home game with Springfield. To do Christmas in July, which that would be pretty good. Well, anyway, first and third for the Springfield Cardinals, top of the 10th inning there in Tulsa. And so far, pretty good right there. Boy, the ball game not over yet. And so far, just a long way to go for the Tulsa Drillers. Man, tell you one thing that Tulsa will take on. Tulsa will take on Springfield, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and Arkansas. That will be their last 4 homestands of the regular season there in the North Division. San Antonio, for our homestands, we have the remaining 3 against Midland, 6 against Springfield, 6 against Amarillo, and 6 against Corpus Christi right after that. So far, the 2025 season near its end. But evidently, we are going to be back in 2026 with another great baseball season. And so far, to start my 6th year in the minor leagues in the Texas League. And so far, pretty good on that. Boy, whoever's making that noise, boy, down in the kitchen, it is noisy as all get out. But anyway, for all of us here, our final score. Missions take this third game. San Antonio 13, Midland 6. And so far, that will do it. For all of us here, have a good night. And we will see y'all for weekend baseball with your San Antonio Missions. So have a good night. And Bob, yes, you have a good night too, my friend.
Yes, and a good night to everybody. And so far, can I say something, John?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Well, anyway, we just need to say a prayer for our catcher, Ethan Salas. They did give an update really quick on his condition, and so far he is going to be out for 2 months.
Are you serious?
Yep. They're saying that he has a broke arm, and so far Blake Beers pretty much broke it after he got hit. It is bruised and well swollen. And so far, he is going to be out for 2 months and probably get to be out for the rest of the season. I mean, that just depends on that. Oh, my goodness. Well, what a night it's been. But anyway, we give a prayer to him, hoping that things are okay with
Ethan Salas. I mean, tonight that was pretty rough around the edges when we all look at it. And so far, Blake Beers literally just hit him in the arm, and that was it. Ethan was out of the ball game, and apparently he injured him badly. But anyway, our thoughts and prayers are with Ethan Salas as he goes get an MRI, and now he's going to have to be out for the rest of the year. And so far, our thoughts and prayers are with him, and hopefully we'll see him back next season, and hopefully we will see him back next season in 2026. But evidently, a broke arm is not good when you know that you play a catcher's position and know that it's hard to even throw a ball. I mean, whatever ball, whatever hand you throw with, whatever hand you write with, that is pretty much broke. But they are going to do surgery on him. Didn't they say they're going to do surgery on him, Bob?
Yeah, they're going to do some much-needed surgery on Ethan, and so far they're going to get him going.
But anyway, our thoughts and prayers to Ethan Salas for San Antonio catcher and his family. We are sending prayers to him, and hopefully he will get better soon, and he could join us again next season. I've got to say, Bob, it's just really rough when you have to deal with somebody getting hurt like that, knowing that somebody's arm gets broken, and evidently that is just rough around the edges. I mean, you look at it, it is very rough when you think about it. But yeah, anyway, we are going into our pregame show, or after game show, should I say. I mean, after this ball game has already concluded with San Antonio winning this one. And yeah, so far, Tulsa now to the bottom of their 10th inning with now a runner in scoring position. And yeah, so far we are 2 hours and 52 minutes into our live broadcast. And as we say it, Bob, it's sad to say that Ethan Salas will not be with us for the remainder of the season because of Blake Beers. The night has never been worse with him just getting in and losing so many pitches. And looky there, the Tulsa Drillers now winning a walk-off, and they are winning that one by the final score against Springfield 2-1. Well, we can finally say that Springfield will now get their 34th loss of the season, and Tulsa now getting their 38th. So they are pushing up a little bit. That's good. Well, anyway, I do believe all ball clubs have played, and so far, pretty good night thus far for the Texas League. Friday night baseball starts up, and so far, pretty good on that. Well, gotta say, it's 10 o'clock hour as we conclude this one, and as we say goodnight, for all of us here in the AA Texas League. And final scores coming in. Springfield gets beat by 1 run. The Tulsa Drillers getting the final laugh of that one, as it is a 2-1 victory for the Tulsa Drillers against Springfield. And so far, it is what it is. But anyway, gotta say, we hope and pray that everything goes good with Ethan Salas, but sad that he will not be in any more broadcasts as the season goes on. And yes, very sad as we all look at it. But anyway, final score, San Antonio 13, Midland 6. And so far, for all of us here tonight, just drive home safely, and we'll keep you up to date on Ethan Salas. And hopefully they will allow him to come back sooner. And hopefully he can be back with us. Because I don't think it's fair that he's going to be out for the rest of the year when he should be coming back probably a month and a half, not 2 months. But we will definitely see what happens there. We still got plenty of time. I mean, we're down to almost our last 2 months of the regular season. And so far, we need him back. But anyway, well, for all of us here, a final score 13-6. And so far, what a night it has been. But anyway, hope everybody safe travel home, I will say. And we will see y'all again tomorrow evening. And for all of us here, have a good night.